All right, we're gonna jump into ES right now. Like I was saying when we weren't live, when we weren't recorded, basically, I'm not feeling anything from this bounce right now. Basically, what's going on with China, this whole virus thing. You gotta another thing I want to put in perspective. I'm definitely gonna share this video by Wednesday, maybe Friday. Um, this coronavirus has been here for already a month. Um, the whole coronavirus thing was actually going on longer than a month. I think it was in December. There was cases. So you got to think about people already traveling back and forth. That virus is already here. It's already anywhere. It's everywhere right now. If that's the case, they held it back for a month. It wasn't that serious. Now outbreaks are happening at certain points in this trend. Since when is stopping short selling bullish? I mean, it's crazy. Like the whole thing with China, their markets are down. Like it's crazy. But it's just things you got to put in perspective and look at where everything happens. Trend lines are there. They're your friend. And basically, you guys know the upper gray bar, lower gray bar. Then you have your red bar. Red bar is the median. It's the middle. Price stays above it, you're long. Price stay below it, you're short. So you either go long at the line, even from the bottom, or you can short from the bottom as well. If it just keeps rejecting that 325, that 32, 54, 25, that level right there. So right now, I'm gonna jump into SHAK because SHAK is literally, it's my baby. And this one was pretty strong Friday. It was pretty strong Friday. And oops, sorry about that. Got some levels here. All levels are still intact. Levels have not changed. We're just finding some new supports. Nice cup and handle. Handle's working out. I want this 30 SMA to come about. We need this 30 SMA to come about. I want to test that, get close to it. Sorry about that. So also we have earnings coming up too for SHAK, which that 224. A lot of earnings going to be 224 actually. I know Azo's 224 around that time too. You have BYND and SHAK. They both trade similar. 1 week it's SHAK, 1 week it's BYND. You guys seen that happen. Another thing, my concern with SHAK is only within this gray bar. Like I said, if we can touch that 30 SMA, I want to see. I mean, a gap down would be nice, but it would have to be a strong hammer back above 65.73. But I want to see a gap close here. Like I feel like we can get a decent gap close here. Touch that on the 30 SMA. Bounce off the 66.80 and by Friday be above 71.29. I don't see why not. We're currently in a range between 71.29 and 65.73. Breaks below short, breaks above, continued long. We're looking at leaps. I'm looking at 6 months minimum. Targeting 75 to 80 and 94 at least right now 9 months minimum. 90 calls. I'm expecting a 13 to 16 point monthly candle on SHAK next month or March. The reason I say this, I mean this month or March. I'm sorry about that. Forgot we're in February already. But I'm going to show you guys the monthly candle. This is what actually stands out to me more than anything. They closed it at the 14 SMA. Also closing it at the fib extension, the purple bar. Which is interesting is fibs 14 and 30 always line up with price on one of the time frames. You got to keep that in mind. So here, I definitely want to see us just open below the 14 SMA and then right there take off from there. I want to see a retest of last month's high this month, of course. I mean, we have ER coming. So we got to keep that in mind. But again, buy time. In this case, if you're nervous going into February, this month, buy time. Minimum 3 months if you're that nervous. Me myself, I have a couple of things I want to buy time with. I'm looking at 70 calls about a month out. I'm looking at 75 calls about 2 months out. I'm looking at the 80 calls about 6 months out. 6 months out is much more time. A 13-point monthly would be nice. See this small little candle here? This was the smallest range on a monthly for SHAK, 5 points. The month prior to that was 27. This February, about 14 points, 13.99 right there, just off a point, off a penny actually. So basically, previous 14 SMA back here, some similar setup here. Big move, touch, close around above the 14 SMA, then continue to take up and go higher. What I like here is that we came to test the 30 SMA. We're bouncing off the 30 SMA. This is going to be a long bullish trend. I'm targeting all-time highs. Max target 123.95 or 124. So I'm looking definitely targeting 123.95. I want to look at 120 leaps. Definitely, probably 9 months minimum. 120, 120s or even 115s. Let's look at them real quick. They're pretty cheap. The January 21st are pretty cheap. 95. I'm actually gonna snag some tomorrow. Let me add this to the watch list for tomorrow. What is these 22s? 22s are not too bad. The 22s are about 410. I mean, sitting on 10K worth of the 120s for 2022, they're about 410. Definitely not a bad idea. We got a lot more time. Just got to figure out what will be in store in the long term. But long term, I'm bullish SHAK. Despite what's going on with this coronavirus and all that extra stuff, I'm bullish. 30 SMA on a monthly test, basically 3 times and bounce off it with a green candle. I am 100% bullish. Those are those are freaking amazing setups. Remember that. Look at monthly charts that haven't touched the 30 SMA and then finally touch the 30 SMA and then bounce off of it. Trends back again long term. See, what's funny here is, check this out. 30 SMA here and 14 SMA. Oops. 30 SMA here and 14 SMA. 30 SMA, nice strong bounce. But look at the trend though. Look how 30 SMA, nice and bounce. Look what happens every year. Bounce off that 30 SMA. What this time from the 30 SMA, it went from $37 to 69, almost doubled. From here, 30 SMA, 40. This thing more than doubled, tripled. Oh, almost tripled actually. It doubled, yeah. So it doubled this year. So what's next? We're gonna get something like, oops, come on. I mean, that would be a crazy swing high if we ever got that. It would be like right here, or at least close to it before it pulls back. But you guys get this, right? You guys get where I'm going with this? This is gonna be crazy. Long term, sitting on just these and then playing weeklies or bi-weeklies. Look at this trend. I mean, even we can even 100 we can get 100 calls for January. Where were those? Not these. The 2001. Oh, these 21 2000. Let's see. The hundreds here are 265. Not bad. But the 120s are on my list. They're under $1. But if you can get the 115s under $1, even better. I like the fact they're about 95 cents on the bid. So you're possibly getting a fill of 110. So 110 is equivalent to being under $1 for me because it's only 10 cents off. But once you get over $1, full figure like that, it's like 10 cents, 10%. When you below it, it's different, smaller. Like I want to focus on SHAK because this is going to be a great long-term play. And it's going to be something that we're just going to be sitting on, collecting and playing weeklies, hedging against our leaps. It's going to be great. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be great. Azo's going to need some time. Azo's going to need time. I told you guys that monthly 14 SMA was iffy. See, look where they got us at, the monthly 14 SMA. I want to see it bounce there. See, it hasn't touched the 14 SMA, so I don't think it's going to go straight down to the 30 SMA, but we have to see. I mean, anything's possible. Last time I hit the 30 SMA, yikes, that was, sorry, it was 2018. But the last time I hit the 14 was 2018 as well. So I want to see if we could bounce off of this. I think about if this 14 SMA, slight double bottom over here, which would be around 1039 or 1037-ish, or we can get somewhat of a double bottom. Nope, actually created double at 1032, but we got to watch this one very close. This is going to be one we got to watch. So hedge with puts for now, your calls. You can do hedge puts with time too if you want. Another one, big is always going to be on my mind all the time. I just hear, like I hear a lot of activity. I see a lot of activity. This monthly candle combo so far. I mean, if this does the opposite of what it did in April of last year, similar candle with a candle combo, but it rejected at the 14 SMA. So we're actually doing exact same pattern here. So here we go. See that? So the first time it rejected the 14 SMA. But now we're doing the same thing, but we're at a bottom of a downtrend. So here, this actually broke down. As you can see, it broke down and it tested the green bar and then it failed it over here. So it continued down. But here we have somewhat of a bottom happening at this double bar here. So as long as we stay above 25, it's smart right now since it's only 3 points to get to 30 cents. I mean, to $30. The best thing to do is buy 30 calls with time, 2 months max, 40 calls, at least 6 months minimum. Why? I'm seeing definitely 49.50. I'm seeing a red bar touch this year. I'm definitely seeing a red bar touch this year. It's already breaking out the downtrend too. So big is definitely a safety play. You won't really get much premium damage or anything like that. See, look, it's been under the 14 SMA since 2018, beginning of the year. I was looking to go higher. I don't want to give you guys too many tickers. I mean, I don't want to give you a lot of tickers. I don't want to focus on much tickers. I want you guys to just be focused. Focus on cores. If you want to play lottos, you play lottos, but play only lottos if you can afford it. If you're taking a loss on a week, don't try to use a lotto to save your life because that's not the smart way to go. Trust me, I take damage on lottos every week. Some weeks I hit really, really nice, and some weeks I'm basically making up for the week before, giving it back. I do give back money a lot. Sometimes I break even too much. This is BA. Now, the only thing that concerns me with BA is the 14 about to cross down to the 30 on the monthly. So when that actually happens, it's going to put BA. I mean, if BA stays here and it's just above 309.65 or even 291.57, It's going to bounce. Probably get a sideways action all this year. But that 14 is crossing down below the 30. And then once it curls back up, it's definitely a long. And I would take like the 400 calls for 2021. Or even right here, from right here, the beginning of the year, 400 calls. I know I'm bearish this, but 14 and 30 never lie. So keep that in mind. So main focus of this live was BA and ES. Like I said, I'm not too concerned with ES right now. I'm not concerned with futures. That didn't startle me. Sorry. The only concern we would have to have is 32.54.25. Watch that level because that's mid red bar. So the low would be 3180, or upper gray bar would be 3,336. So just keep that in mind. That's our session for tonight. Anybody has any questions?